Hello, hello, people. Good evening to you. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you, wherever it is you are going to be watching our conversation from. Before you say, "Eh, what's happening?" The tables have turned today. Yes, the table have turned today. But don't worry, it's still men fences. It's still conversations with the Love Crusader. As a matter of fact, the Love Crusader is here and she's the one on the hot seat. Hi, Mama. Say hello to your people.
Hi everyone, hello. Good evening. Welcome to your Sunday Spice.
So, before you start saying, what's going on today? Yes, Mama is the one on the hot seat today. But trust me, it's going to be an interesting time because she has come fully loaded. She's ready. She's prepared for today's conversation. So let's hit it wrong. Most times we do not have time, and I know she does not need any too much in those introduction. We all know she's a love crusader personified, and this is Men Fences her. She's the pioneer and she's the frontliner of this platform. So last week we'll just go right into it because there's no time to waste time. Most times when we begin this conversation, time just flies. When you're enjoying yourself, time is flying. When revelation knowledge is coming to you, time is flying. So we'll just go right into it. Last week we were talking about love and forgiveness, and that's where we're going to. We'll just take it, continue from where we stopped last week. We talked about what forgiveness was last week. We had one very robust definition of what forgiveness was, and I think we concluded that forgiveness is a process. you know then we stopped at repeat offense. What happens if you have a case of a repeat offender? What do you do? So we'll just continue from there today, and we'll just take it off from there today and continue to, because it's important that we have a better understanding. I think that's one of the things that holds people down. If we have a better understanding of what forgiveness is, in relationship and especially in marriage, because in a relationship you can say, okay, this person is dealing with unforgiveness. I don't think this can work. You can take a walk, right? But when it comes to marriage setting, it's not like that. It's not that easy. Or what do you think, Mama?
Okay, all right. So that's usually the challenge. And
Mm-hmm.
we started talking about it last week, how it is a bit challenging dealing with repeat
Yeah.
offense, especially in the marriage relationship. Um,
Mm.
with other kinds of relationship, for example, you're still dating. Um, they would say 1 million broken engagement is still better than one
Yes,
broken
that's
marriage.
right.
So like, okay, yes, maybe you've invested 1 2 3 years in this relationship, but if this person keeps doing this thing, you can just bounce and trust the Lord for a new guy or a new babe, you
Mm-hmm.
understand? But then
But
when
in the
you're ready
marriage,
to, so that's where the cocoa of the matter is,
mm,
because this is when you'll be reminded that God hates divorce. It's not a lie, it's in the Bible. The word of God says that God
yeah.
hates divorce. And then some will remind you that, oh, the only condition that God has given or the Bible gave for divorce is adultery. So if it's not
Mm,
adultery, what do you do? Because there are other issues in the relationship or in a marriage relationship that might require someone to bounce,
mm.
but then do you really bounce? What do you do? So I don't know that you want me to just go straight into it or
Oh, please go
just
right ahead because I
uh,
like the direction you are going already. So, do we really bounce? And
okay.
if yes, if we are supposed to just take a walk and bounce, then at what point should we take a walk and bounce? But if we are not just supposed to just bounce like that, then what do we do? Connecting that to forgiveness.
Yes. So, first of all, what I want to say is what forgiveness is not. We
Okay.
were saying it last week that the first issue is that people don't understand or people misunderstand what forgiveness is. So,
Yeah.
forgiveness is not condoning something that is wrong, it is not refusing to acknowledge that a wrongdoing has happened or that something
Mm,
has been done wrong you know
yeah.
let's not even talk about it. Suppose don't even talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more hurt you will be. Like we
Exactly.
like we established last week, is a process. And the starting point of that process is naming the offense. Name the offense.
Mm,
What do I mean? If your partner riles you up about something, what is that thing that is really the offense? So if let me look for something I can use for an example. Okay, let's say for example a drug addict.
mm,
Somebody is a drug addict. We know the issues with them, that sometimes it's possible that a drug addict will relapse. We're talking now as per repeat offense example. So
yeah.
this person has said, oh, I'm no longer doing these drugs, and then they go back again. Oh, I'm no longer doing it, and then they go back again. Now, we cannot say because this person has now decided that they have relapsed, or they've relapsed severally, you throw the person to the street or stop helping the person, or just open the door and welcome this person back. No,
Mm,
you first name the issue. The issue here is that, one, this person is an addict, they can't help themselves. It's an addiction. And this is
mm,
how this addiction poses a problem with them relating with you or with other people. Then you take steps to help this person. What are the steps? Take them back to rehab, if they are your relations and you have the power over them. You know what I mean? If it's
yeah.
government, you need to go to the government to help. Whatever step you need to do to help this person. However, you cannot, for example, say because maybe the person is your child and you love this person and you have forgiven them for what they've done, then you allow them into your house, you leave money carelessly where they can find it, or
Mm,
even expose them to places where they can go and find drugs. Now that is enabling an
enabling, yeah.
offense. So in the same vein, even in the marital relationship, you cannot just say, well, I forgive. Yes, forgiveness, we should have it, like so Sister Titi said it last week, I remember, that we should have it in our pocket before the offense come. So as God's children, we should forgive even before offense come. And this is totally correct. This is what God expects of us. In fact, that for me is the strategy with which you can deal with unforgiveness. Just
Mm,
prepare your mind that you forgive before the offense comes.
comes, yeah.
However, it doesn't mean that you condone the offense. It has to be
Mm,
named. It has to be
mm,
addressed. I am one believer in talk about it. Before
mm,
this person starts saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. What are you sorry about? Hmm.
mm.
When we were talking
So
about discipline,
you are saying, so now you are saying identify what the issue is, talk about it. For those people that are not good talkers, in quotes, you know, we know that there are some people, for some people, talking comes naturally, it's easy, or it's easier for them. So for those categories of people that find it difficult, they just feel, let's just move on, it's one of, as if to say, as if to deny the reality of what has just happened. So for those people, what do you now do? It's like, for them, you hear people say things like, let sleeping dogs lie, just let it be, as if
yeah,
talking kind of aggravates the matter the more. So what do you say to people like that?
the truth is that they are not being correct in any sense of the word, whether
Wow,
spiritually,
really?
religiously. Yes, spiritually, religiously,
But they can't
psychologically,
talk,
it doesn't
they
work.
don't
What does
the
the Bible
talking
say?
rise them up. They
Okay,
say talking leads
what
to
does
more
what
argument and
does
all that.
what does the Bible say about handling offense? Matthew chapter 18, verse 15 to
Mm,
19. Jesus himself speaking, he said, if your brother offends you, this is our standard for dealing with conflict and offenses.
mm,
He said you should go to him and do what? And tell him. Tell him,
mm.
auntie, sister, brother. Ihe anyị mere, let me speak it in Igbo language.
No
This thing
problem. Go
you
ahead.
have
Just
done,
interpret for us so that we will flow along with you.
this thing that you have done, oh, this is how it hurts me. This thing you have done,
Yeah.
this is how I feel about it. He says, if you now go, this person refused to listen to you, the person has refused to accept that they've offended you, go back. Take an elder with you. Go back again. Is it not talking?
Wow.
Is it not another talking process? Go
Yeah.
back again and say, look, elder will not say, brother, this thing you did to this brother or this sister is hurting the brother or this sister in this way and in that way, in that way. He said he has come to you, but you did not understand. So I have come to help you to see whether you will understand the matter. And if this person still refuses to listen to you and the elders, take it to the church. You know, as believers, we are not encouraged to really take our matters to the courts, to take it before the world, so to speak. We are expected to take our matters to the church. So you take it to the church and let the church step in. Now, if the church steps in and this person still refuses, he said the person should be to you like a Gentile. This is the part that believers don't talk about. This is the part that people don't talk about. When the person becomes to you like a Gentile, what does that mean? Sister Titi, I don't want to be the one to say it.
I was, you know, this is like one huge revelation for me. I was just taking everything in, and I was just about to ask you that question. That Gentile part, please explain to us what that means before I come summarize everything and pick out what has hit me in this thing you've said right now. So that Gentile part, please tell us, what does that mean?
All right, you have to first go back to remembering that in Bible days, the Jews and the Gentile had nothing in common.
Yeah, true.
So as far as the Jews were concerned, the Gentiles were outcasts.
Yeah.
They were outlawed. Okay? So when the Bible says you should treat someone in the biblical, we are not talking of today. Jesus has come. There's no Jew, there's no Gentile. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
For his cross and his sacrifice. But when the Bible tells you to treat someone as a Gentile in those days, it's saying treat this person as an outcast, as a forgotten person. Treat this person like they no longer, okay, it's in the Bible, oh, Abby. Should we open Bible? For those who did not hear my reference, you can go back and read it. It's Matthew.
Yes, please say it
18.
again.
Matthew chapter 18, verses 15 to 19 is there. One thing I love about Christ and Christianity is that as much as people try to gloss over the issues of life, there are practical steps. There are practical ways that the Bible expects us to deal with things. We've not been left high and dry and left, without succor. There are practical solutions. The thing is that people try to say it in a way that suits them instead of going through those processes and going through those solutions. So
okay, so you're saying that talking, you must talk it.
You must talk it though.
But what can you say to help? For example, now I don't like talking. Now you're telling me I have to I have to come talk it out, or tying that to forgiveness. I have to come and talk with you. And what can you do? What can you say to help me? How do I now begin to? I just feel it's a whole lot of work. Why do we have to belabor
Okay,
ourselves?
First of all, I'm not really tying this talking to forgiveness, because before you go and talk to this person, you go with the mindset that they can accept or not accept.
Or not. Okay.
And before you go, you've forgiven them. You must know that. Whether they are going to accept, they are not going to accept their offense, is irrelevant to your own forgiveness. Why? Because forgiveness is important for your well-being, not for theirs. Not for their own, for your own well-being, for my own mind to be well, and for me to, to be whole. I need to forgive. Okay. So I'm going to have this conversation as a way of not keeping malice. Now, that's another level. So that's another level of forgiveness. Some people will tell you, okay, I forgive, but they are malicing this person. They don't greet the person anymore. Hey, say, after all, now, Sister Comfort has even told us that Bible say we should treat the person as an outcast. Or
Okay.
as
So
but
are you
but
saying
that
that
does not give
if
room
I'm
for
saying
malice.
okay, so are you saying that that no, there's malice, there's that malice part, then there's keeping your distance part. Are you
Hmm.
saying that if I'm not saying hello to this person, I'm not being friendly with this person, I haven't forgiven? Okay, and to make it easier, we're talking about relationship, we're talking about marriage in this context. So you are saying that if I'm not um being friendly with him, or if I'm not being friendly with her, with my spouse or with my partner, or if I'm not greeting them or something, I'm walking in unforgiveness. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there's difference between I forgive you and I'm keeping my distance, and I forgive you but I'm walking in malice. They are two different things.
Okay,
So
please tell us about that.
forgiving,
What's that distinctive difference?
keeping the person at a distance is not giving room for the person to treat you the same way again.
Oh, exactly.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you will see this person on the street, for example. Okay, maybe a spouse. You have separated because this person is a repeat offender. I was in the course of researching some of these things. I came across a psychologist page, and the person tried to list, as far as she's concerned, offenses that are unforgivable, for
Hmm.
which you should not stay in a relationship. Yes, the person talks about physical abuse, talks about cheating. He said, especially cheating with no remorse. If the
Hmm.
person is a serial cheater with no remorse, person is constantly lying, there's emotional abuse, the person does not take responsibilities for issues, there's jealousy. Remember, jealousy, they say, is good. Healthy jealousy is good, but there's an unhealthy one. And then
Yeah.
there's also controlling tendencies. All of these things this person listed is not a one-off. That's it. They're saying if these are repeat offenses in a relationship, then it is better to give a distance. So, for example, you are separated from your spouse because of repeat offense, okay? It doesn't mean that you will see the brother on the road. You cannot say hello, good morning, how are you? You understand? What is there? You are still brethren. But the one that some will even be fighting the person on the street, or they'll not be doing physical fight. Every time they see each other, there will be war. Your brothers and sisters are fighting each other, family to family are fighting each other. All those are
Hmm.
not forgiveness. That's not forgiveness. So you can be separated from this person and still be friends with them. Especially if, for example, you even have children. You still have to relate with
Yeah.
concerning
You
your
have to
children. You still have to
at
give the
least be
children a sense.
civil with each other.
That's what we're talking about. So there's no
Hmm.
the malice usually leads to revenge.
Hmm.
Malice most cases we want you to revenge. I'm waiting to do this person this thing back. The way the person has hurt me, I'm waiting to hurt the person back. That is usually the mindset of malice. So we're saying forgive this person for your own peace. Yes, you might not remain in that marriage. You can separate. Uh, uh,
Hmm.
uh, we use the word separation because we don't encourage divorce. You can
Hmm.
separate for a short while, for a long while, treat the problem while you deal with the issue. And I'm coming back to say you must talk about it. You
Hmm.
must talk about it. If you don't talk about it, this person can pretend they don't even know why you are angry.
Yeah,
They don't
true.
have to talk
True.
back. Oh, they don't have to talk
Hmm.
back. Let them listen.
Hmm.
But you must express it. You understand? You must express it. Tell the person, this is
Yeah.
why I feel offended. This is what you have done that has hurt me. And it is left for them, for their own peace, to say, oh yes, I'm sorry. I have offended you, and yes, let's make peace. Or no, I don't see what you're talking about. I am right in what I have done and I stand by it. Whichever way. That will determine further action you will take in your relationship with the person. But that does not determine forgiveness. You must. We
Hmm.
don't have option. We don't have option when it comes to forgiveness. You must forgive
Okay,
as
so
our
um,
Heavenly Father forgives us.
Forgives us. Okay, right. So in the event that you are saying now that because you are talking of how to deal with a repeat offender, you know, um, whether and there are two levels of repeat offender, you know, the repeat offender that shows remorse. There are some people that there are some spouses that they keep doing it over and over again, and they are supposedly remorseful, at least in their words, maybe not in their actions. So there's that
Mm-hmm.
part. Then there's those part that they don't even show any remorse because they don't even see any reason why. They don't even see that they are hurting you. They feel for some maybe it's my right, and I have the right to do this, or they just don't see anything wrong with that. So now you're saying for the person that is showing remorse, for the person that is remorseful in their words but not in their action, they keep hurting you, they keep doing that to you. How do you approach forgiveness? How do you forgive this person? They are saying they are sorry, but in by the things that they do, by their fruits, that this person isn't sorry. How do you approach forgiveness?
Okay, so this person, we cannot say the person is not sorry. The person is sorry. But what are they sorry about? This is why I said the first point is to
Hmm.
name it. What
Name
are you
it, yeah.
sorry about? Some people get caught in adultery and they are sorry they got caught, not sorry that
God,
they committed adultery.
true,
They are two different
true.
things. So the
And they
moment
come
they
and
get
say they are
caught,
sorry, and the other
hey,
person just accepts it like that.
that person who is sorry because he got caught is going to cheat again.
Again,
And this time try
definitely.
to hide it more so he will not be caught. There are two different issues, you see. So the
So how do
person
you
who,
forgive that kind of person? How do you
yes,
forgive that kind of
let
person?
me come. The person who is sorry and who is remorseful can be
Hmm.
helped. So maybe they really
Hmm.
don't understand the gravity of what they are doing. They don't understand
Hmm.
the level, how they hurt, how their action comes across, and the pain that their action causes. Let's go for
Hmm.
counseling. Let's go for therapy. This is why those
Okay.
people who keep running from marriage counseling, they are doing themselves a whole lot of harm. It helps. Being a child of God doesn't mean you cannot sit down and undergo therapy. There are Christian counselors everywhere in the world now. Okay. Usually,
Hmm.
when you come to a therapy session, there's always room to voice feelings on both sides, and that
True.
might become more aware how they are actually hurting you. If truly they are remorseful, and they might not be able to appreciate the level of hurt, and as such change.
Okay.
Okay,
So you
the
are
aim
saying
is
so
for is to get the person to change.
it's as if the person that is a repeat offender, the spouse that is a repeat offender, or the partner that is a repeat offender and is remorseful, it's like it's easier to forgive this person. What of the person that is a
Eh,
repeat offender and is
eh,
not remorseful? The
Sweetheart,
person
it is not easy to forgive anyone.
anyway. Is
Forgiveness
there
is not
any way we
easy.
look at it?
Let's be truthful. Forgiveness, it's not easy.
True.
It takes the
Mm,
grace of God, I'm telling you, especially when it becomes a repeat thing. Because the natural
yeah.
instinct is to feel like this person is taking me for granted. Or because I
Granted,
forgave you the
yeah.
first time, that's why you are repeating it. So at that point, it becomes difficult. However, like I've
True.
said, if the person is remorseful, but they are repeating the same offense, it's like what you will do with a drug addict. Help them get rehab.
Help
If
them.
they are truly
Yeah.
remorseful, tell them, look, you're going to let's go for rehab, because now you say you are remorseful, you can't help yourself, I'm going to help you. You see? So you help them with the issue. Try to find solution to it because they are remorseful. But the person that is not remorseful is the one that Bible says you should do what? You should treat as a Gentile.
Hey.
Listen, listen, people. It is, it is unreasonable to accept destructive attitude and behavior and call it love and forgiveness. No, it is not.
Bam. Please say that again.
I say it is unreasonable for you to accept destructive behaviors, accept negativity around you,
Mm.
behaviors that destroy you, and you say it's
And
because of
thinking
love
that's
and mercy
forgiveness.
and forgiveness. No, 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 no. You're doing harm to yourself. You
So
are
that's
doing
one
harm
of the
to
things
yourself.
that forgiveness is not. You said
It's
forgiveness is
not.
not condoning the offense. Forgiveness is not
That
enabling the person,
exactly.
and
It's not
forgiveness is not
enable the
continuing
person.
to
It's not
accept
an excuse. Don't
negativity.
give an excuse for the person. That's not
Mm.
love.
And that's
And
one of the
you see that,
mistakes most people make. You feel,
oh,
if I say I've
it's
forgiven
you
this person, I should accept everything.
exactly. When you talk to some people, they'll be like, it's because I shout. Me, I'm the one always shouting at him. That's why he slaps me. Hello,
Mm.
hello, hello. That's not love. That's mumulity. If there's any word like that, let me coin my own dictionary. Even God does not expect that of you. The Bible expects, a level of responsibility. Biblical love includes responsibility and
Responsibility.
acceptance
Yeah.
for fault. So it is irresponsible. Yes, that's the word I would like to use. It would be irresponsible of anyone to put yourself in a place where you are being destroyed and you stay
Mm.
there. You say, I'm
Mm.
forgiving. The Bible says I should forgive until it finally destroys you. That's not biblical love. The Bible
So
tells us that in
forgiveness
so
is
many places.
not. So you are saying that forgiveness is not you continuing to allow yourself or putting yourself in that position, in that space where you are constantly being hurt.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
That is
Jesus
this
himself
is
speaking said, if this person
wow.
doesn't listen to you, but the point here is that you must exhaust all avenue.
All of it. That's why we said it's a process. Earlier on we had mentioned that
Exactly.
forgiveness
We
is
say
a
it's a
process. Now this is one
process.
of
It's
the
a
process.
process. You must exhaust all avenues. Jesus himself lined them up. Say, first, go to this person yourself. If it's not working, you have woken this man up in the middle of the night. You have woken this woman up in the afternoon. You have said, how they used to encourage speaking in the night. That's what I'm talking about, things
Hmm.
like that. You have
Okay.
spoken in the afternoon. The person has refused to change about it. Then you have also involved other people. Forget those who tell you keep your matter private. They're only killing you. You die
Hmm.
in silence. You have involved a third party. It may be a church leader, a pastor that has sense. So I'm sorry, some pastors, they themselves are not living right. Yeah, so they can't counsel you correctly.
Yeah.
A counselor, you've gone for counseling, you've done all that needs to be done, you've gone through the process, you've reported even to church leaders, they have prayed, they have fasted. These are processes and levels that has to be followed. You have
Stages.
followed all of this, and this person is still unrepentant, and this person is still not changing. Then at this point, for your own peace, it is better to separate from this person, to treat the person as
Hmm.
a Gentile. Pray and love them from a distance. Because you are now going to treat them as a Gentile doesn't mean that, like I said, you start working in malice or start work. No. But at this point in time, you just begin to love them from a distance. If opportunity presents itself where you can show love to this person, you still show love as God will
Go
expect you
ahead.
to show love. But don't go and
Exactly.
keep yourself. Don't go and keep yourself in a situation
In
where you
that.
constantly get hurt and say,
Hmm.
"Oh, the Bible expects me to love." That's not biblical
And
love.
forgive.
By
Hmm.
the time a man is hitting you, he hits you the first time, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one.
Hmm.
Until God is merciful, he has not killed you. Carry your bag and go now. Go
Hmm.
first. Go first. When we heal his demon, when he has agreed that, yes, okay,
Go
you know how
first.
most times they tell you is the devil.
Go first. Go first.
They will tell
Hey,
you it's the
don't die
devil.
in the name
It's
of
the devil.
I'm forgiving this person. I'm loving this person. There's a difference
There's no
between forgiveness and foolishness.
there's no marriage
Forgiveness,
in debt.
foolishness.
There's no
Hmm.
marriage in debt. It is only the
Hmm.
living that can marry. So
Hmm.
instead of getting depression, sometimes it's not physical abuse, it's emotional abuse. You've been
Or
so
financial abuse.
emotionally abused and battered to the point where you are now beginning to edge towards depression. Your own mental health
Hmm.
is no longer okay. Auntie,
Mistake.
go first.
Hmm.
Uncle, go first.
Go first.
This person.
We should have titled today's conversation, Go First. We've been able to establish the fact that forgiveness is not continuing to put yourself in that space, whether you're a man or you're a woman. For
Exactly.
sometimes most men will be like, let me just leave her, just allow her to keep doing what it is. I'm a man, I should take it, I should be able to take it. That's not forgiveness. You don't continue
Mm-hmm.
to put yourself in that position where you are being abused, whether it's financially, physically, or whatever, and
Mm.
thinking that you are forgiving this person. You don't continue to enable this person, and you say, because they said you are sorry, you are forgiving. So
Exactly.
that is what forgiveness is not. I think it's better if we understand what forgiveness is not. It is much easier for us to begin to practice forgiveness the God kind of way. So if there's anything that we are taking from here is that forgiveness is not exposing yourself to constant hurt. Forgiveness is not
What
exposing yourself
what was
to
that
constant
statement?
hurt.
What was that statement I told you I found? The person says, if your offender is not changing, you do what? You
You
change.
change. Oh, please explain that, because you are now saying that if the repeat offender does not change, you change. So by
Yes.
that change, you mean, does that mean that I'm accepting that I'm the reason why this person keeps offending me, so I should just forgive? Or
So I'm
what
not
does that
saying,
change mean?
I'm not saying you change in the sense that, oh, it's your fault that this is happening to you. I'm saying
Mm.
you change in the sense that you are no longer in that position where this person can do you this wrong.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay,
You
I get
understand?
that.
Change the story
Yeah.
you tell yourself. If, for example,
Oh,
if, for example, you
okay.
are the one who has believed that divorce is a sin, then you need to
Mm,
start reorientating yourself. Or
mm,
not, okay, let's not even go to divorce. Let's say you are the type who has believed that separation is a sin. You should always
mm,
be with your spouse. You first need to start
mm,
reorientating yourself and your mentality to say, for my sanity, for my well-being, for my mental health, I might need to actually separate from this situation for a while. It does not mean that it has to be forever. There are a lot
mm.
of situations where people have separated, and then you know how they say absence make the heart grow fonder.
Wonder.
That absence might not make this person want to really understand that, oh my God, I've hurt this person in this way. Oh, I have done this person wrong in this way. Okay, now I understand what this person is trying to say. How do we find help and how do we find solution? And it can come back. But the thing is, you have to prepare your mind that it can go both ways.
I think that's
Because
where that's the fear
that's all the
most
change.
times.
That's all the change. That's all the change I'm talking about. So you first have to
Mm,
change the story you tell yourself. You have to tell yourself a different story and say, I need to prioritize me as far as this relationship is concerned. I need to be a healthy wife to be able to be a healthy mother. I need to be a healthy woman
mm,
to also be a healthy wife. If you're
mm.
depressed, if you're sick, if you're and unfortunately in Africa we don't talk a lot about mental health, but it's
Oh
a,
no,
it's
we
a
don't.
lot. It's a
Mm,
lot. And a lot of people dying in silence about it until they see maybe physical wound and they see blood before they think, you are in danger. But in most cases,
yes.
a lot of emotional and psychological abuse go on in relationships. And people are dying from it every day. People are dying from mental
Mm,
health issues every day. You need to be healthy to be a good wife. You need to be healthy to be a
mm,
good mother. If not, you start projecting um falsehood and negativity to other people who have not offended you. You go to work sometimes, you see
mm,
somebody who's just unnecessarily aggressive. You're wondering, me
mm.
and this one quarrel. Me
Yeah,
and this one quarrel. You and the person did not quarrel. Oh. This weekend was a very hot one in his or her house. And she's projecting it, or
yeah.
he's projecting it to
Mm,
you to on Monday at work. You see? So it
mm,
goes very wide. It goes very wide. And that is the reason why we must deal with it. We must think about our mental health and deal with it. Tell yourself a different story. I matter. I need to be well, to be able to do what God has called me to do. On this earth, we
mm.
all have a purpose. Even if it's is just motherhood. I don't like using the word just because it diminishes it. But motherhood is a calling. Anyone that knows me know I always say it. Just to be able to take care of your children and bring them up in the way God wants them to be requires your sanity to be okay
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very important for us. We must understand that if this person is not willing to change, then I have to change. I have to change my action in this relationship. I have to change my action towards this person. I have to change my mentality towards the entire marriage.
Wow.
Towards the entire
Wow.
marriage. Yes. That has to
Wow.
change.
Someone said forgiveness doesn't mean you need to keep that person in your life. You know, he said, this is a man. He said, yes, you can forgive someone for cheating. You can forgive them for breaking your heart, you know, for abandoning you in the time of need, for walking away, you know, for not putting you and all that. But that does not mean that you need to keep that person in your life. I think what this person is saying is that you don't have, just like we've been saying, you don't have to continue to put yourself in that position, all in the name of forgiving this person. But there's a twist to it. You know, someone is asking, can you forgive without trusting them again? You know, or can you does forgiveness mean I have to trust this person? You know, such that if I this person has hurt me in this kind of way, you know, this person has, let me not even use cheating, because let me not use cheating. Let's say maybe a spouse that has been financially irresponsible, you know, and the person that it has affected you, you know, there's no denying it. It has affected both of you, you know. So can you say you've forgiven this person even when you don't trust them again?
Okay.
You know, that's
So
what this person is asking.
the thing here is we must always remember we have established it. Forgiveness, we are not discussing it, we are not debating it, it's not debatable. You must forgive. Now, trusting this person again would depend on the person, not on you. And this is where a lot of people miss it, because they now expect it to be spontaneous, instantaneous. I have said sorry now. Should you say you are
Because I said
forgiven
I've
now?
forgiven you. Yeah.
You say you are forgiving me now, but remember that in the course of that offense, trust was broken.
Broken.
And then you have to to break trust is like this. You just do it like this, pin, it will just break. Very simple. Pin. But to build trust takes time. So you have to give this person the time, show the person with time that they can trust you again. If, for example, the example you gave, a spouse that has been financially reckless, you know, should be able to understand that it will take a while. It will take a while to go through again and be able to show this person that you are no longer reckless with money. The person can now trust you to make right decisions, to take responsibility and do right by them. It will take a while. It's not going to be automatic. Yeah, a spouse who has cheated, it's going to take a while for you to be able to prove to this person that, look, I am no longer that person who cheated, or I'm no longer that person who lied to you. If you've been caught in one lie, you've been caught in second lie, you've been caught in a third lie, the tendency is for the person to be looking at you twice every time you say something. It's very normal. We're human beings. That doesn't mean that this person has not forgiven you. It only means that the trust is no longer there yet. And can trust be, can it be built again? Yes. But it will take work, lots of work from the offender. We must understand that if you are the offender, you must put in extra work to convince this person that you are no longer what you were or what you did. Don't expect the person to automatically, okay, you have just finished squandering the millions that we saved in our maybe joint account.
Our whole life.
Then you come and you say sorry, you need that, you cry,
sorry.
you roll on the floor. You roll on the floor,
And
then
say,
we hug.
and I say, I'm forgiving you.
and we make up, and we make up. You know, makeup is always sweet. It will be as if the romance
Mm.
started fresh. Then
Mm-hmm.
I will now sign another check of 10 million and give you
Because
immediately.
I've forgiven you.
And Mayor Mbanu. They know they do
English, please. Interpret that
they
in
don't do it.
English.
It doesn't work like that.
So you're saying that it is possible for me to forgive this person, but we have to walk our way to trusting the person. We have to work out. So there are two different things: forgiveness and trust. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
so the fact that I've
It's part,
forgiven you,
it's part of the process, but it's going to take a lot of
okay,
work from the
I was going to
offender.
come to that process.
Rebuilding trust is part of the process. When we have forgiven, then we work towards building trust. And that is where the problem of a repeat offense becomes very challenging. Because
Hmm.
if we say we have forgiven, we are now building trust. It's like you are putting one block after another block. By the time you repeat the offense, you scatter the whole building again. Then we forgive, we start afresh, we start putting block on the block, on the block. You repeat the offense, we scatter the building again. Sweetheart, when are we going to ever finish that building? When will that building be? When will it ever be completed? You see what we're saying? So this is why, as much as it's possible, you might offend the person in some other way, but it's better not to keep repeating the same offense.
Repeating.
Because at this, it's going to get to a point where you really can no longer build trust anymore. And this is the point
Hmm.
where many people will now give up and say, okay, hey, I've tried, I've done my bit, I've done my best, I've given you so many chances, but you keep, blowing them. So, auntie, stay
Go
on your
first.
own. Let me love you from a distance. Go first.
Go
God
first.
bless you. Go first. Just
Go
go for
first.
now. For now, first.
For now.
Go first. Let
So
me get
you're
my
saying
let
that,
me let me get my sense.
yeah. So you're saying that I can forgive you, or I have forgiven you, but we need to work on trust. That
Yes.
trust part is not automatic. So the fact that I've forgiven you does not mean that I now trust you automatically. And I think it's very important for people to understand that, so that we don't just put so much burden on ourselves. That's why for most people, they said, no, 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 this one I can't forgive. That's why you were talking about this psychologist that was saying that um there's some things that are unforgivable. I think it's one of the burdens people put on themselves and say, uh, um because I've forgiven, I should trust automatically. So it's important that if we understand what forgiveness actually is, we don't place on ourselves that burden. We don't constantly hurt ourselves thinking that we have actually forgiven. So we've established that yes, we forgive, but building trust is a process. Exactly, that is what we've established now. So, and we over this conversation, we keep saying is a process, is a process. So what is that process? What's that process of forgiving like? Number one. Then number two, you say it's a process. That means as if it's going to take a long time. Is that always the case? Especially, I don't want to even keep talking about repeat offense, but whether it's repeat or not, whether repeat means okay, this person keeps doing this same thing again and again. But what if it's not the same thing? What if it is in different places? So are we saying that yes, what is that process like? And can we
Okay.
just jump the process? you know can we learn to the extent that we can just complete the
I
process in
think
an instant?
Dr. Emmanuel last week listed a process for us, which he said, first of
Mm.
all, if I can remember, is acknowledgement. That is where
Okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
naming it. We acknowledge this offense has happened. This is what happened. This is how it happens. Second is to confess. So if I come to you and I say, look, you've offended me in this way, I expect you to be able to confess and say, oh, really, I did it, but I didn't know it was going to be this way, or I didn't mean it this way, or whatever. Then after that, both of us will reconcile. We talk about
Mm.
it and say, okay, going forward, Now that you know that this hurts me like this and like that, then you'll not do it again. I will not do it again. Let's kiss and make up. That is the simplest form of
Hmm.
it. However, the process and the time of the process will depend on the type and level of offense.
Offense. Hmm. Hmm.
So if Titi steps on my feet and steps on my toes while she's passing, that's a mistake. Sister Titi, you just stepped on my toe. You want to wound me? Ah, Mama, sorry, oh, I did not know. It was not intentional. I was not looking where I'm going. I'm in a hurry. Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay,
Hmm.
that's all right. Don't do it again. That one is sharp, sharp now. You never finish. If Sister Titi, I'm using me and you because I don't want to use any other person, slanders Sister Comfort, maybe
Hmm.
tells a bad tale about Sister Comfort in a group, and Sister Comfort now gets to hear it and now confronts Sister Titi. Sister, why have you done this to me? Sister, let's just say she's remorseful. And she said, well, oh, I heard the gist too from so and so place. So I thought it was a true gist. That's why I now broadcasted it. Sister Comfort can now say, but this is how it hurt me because it was not true. It was not this. Now, they can reconcile there, but there's what we call restitution. Sister
Hmm.
Titi must go back to the place where she told that lie about Sister Comfort and tell them the truth. That is the end
Hmm.
of that process. So you see the first example. The
Hmm.
first example ended with me and you, we kiss, we make up. It's just between me and you. But because in the second example, others are involved, now you have to go to the next step. And this restitution is what many Christians don't talk about, but it's biblical. The Bible talks about
Hmm.
restitution. Restitution is restoring something back to the way it was before. So if you have slandered this person and you, go back there and say, look, this thing I said about this person was wrong. I've now come back. And sometimes you see people do it, especially on social media or TV. They come back to say, "Oh, I didn't get all the information. I was wrong about this or what I published." Like in a newspaper or a journalist, they
Hmm.
retract their story and they say, "Oh, that story we did not get enough information about it before we published it." Blah blah blah. In the one-on-one relationship, that is also expected. Sometimes you might have to go back and right a wrong before the process is complete. In the other level, it might be that you would need to stay away from this person totally for the process to be complete. So you do the confession, you go the acknowledgement, you might reconcile or not reconcile. This person is not willing to reconcile. The person does it again. You do go back again. You start afresh. You acknowledge. They confess. You reconcile. The person does it again. Then you now have to start thinking of how do I remove myself from this situation so this person will not continue to hurt me. See, so that's what we're saying. This process depends on the level of
Never.
offense that
Yeah.
has been. I remember the story of a man that used to be a native doctor and he became a believer. He repented. After he became, and he was a very popular native doctor in Ibadan, in Oyo State, in Nigeria. After he repented, um, God told him to go back to a particular family to go and confess to them and make restitution because he killed their child. Now
Hmm.
that child he killed was not the only one. There were a whole lot of other harm that he had done. But that one particularly, God told him to go back. And it was so hard for him. How do you go to a couple and say, I killed your child? But after discussing much with pastors and men of God, they said, okay, we are going to go with you. So they went. And on getting there, guess what? These people, very old couple, the man and the wife, this child was the only child they ever had on earth.
Wow.
No other child. And they've been crying to God about losing this child many, many, many years back. So the man came there, lied down on the floor, and was rolling and crying and begging them and say, I did this in the time I was in the darkness. Now I have become a child of light. And God said I should come
Hmm.
back to you people. Not only did God tell him to go there and lie down, God said you will build a house for them. Everything that child would have done for them on this earth, you will do it. He did not specify it for the others, but for that particular couple, I don't know why.
Hmm.
Only God knows why. So God insisted that this man should do, and he had to do it. Go build them a house, ensure they were comfortable. From then on, they became his parents until the time they died. He buried them.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I say it depends on the level, the process depends on the level of offense. But we must
Hmm.
also remember that there is that room for restitution. If you have stolen somebody's thing and your heart pricks you, you are repentant about it, whether the person knows or not, or the person has forgiven or not, there's nothing that stops you from going to say, ah, sister, I confession, I stole your this, I stole your that. Person say, oh, it's okay, I forgive you. Ah, no, I have it, I want to return it, or I want to replace it. There's nothing wrong with that. So it depends on the level and the kind of offense. That is why you see, yes, some men, when they have offended their wife, they go and buy gifts.
Hmm.
For some women, they like it. For some men, they like it. Some people, it won't mean anything. They'll throw you and your gift out.
Especially for repeat offenders. Repeat offenders.
Exactly. For me,
At
though,
that
as a
point,
person, I would rather see change. I would rather see change. I will appreciate change than gift. You
thank
know,
you.
just don't do
Yeah.
it again so that I will not be talking and talking
No.
about the same thing and repeating the same issue. I prefer it. Don't keep buying me gifts. For funny enough, some of those people who are buying gifts, they do it again, they buy gifts. They do it again, they buy gifts. And the person who has been offended is blinded sometimes by these gifts.
Mm.
So you see, that's
Mm.
another angle to it. But
Mm.
generally, we need to understand what is the level of this offense. And then that will determine the process that must be followed for forgiveness to be total. Not for forgiveness to take place. Forgiveness must take place before
Must take
offense
place.
happens. We've already
Mm.
said that.
So for
But
it to be
for it to
complete.
be total, to become a total
Mm.
package, that process needs to be followed.
Okay, so that makes more sense, So forgiveness is a must. It must start instantly, but it has to be completed. For it to be completed, for it to be total, it takes a process depending on the offense. But that forgiveness, so you got to forgive. You got to forgive. That is a whole lot to take in, but it is what we have to do. And grace is available to us, especially as
Amen.
people that believe. Grace is available to us. God will not tell us to do what He has not made provision for us to do. Grace is available, and it begins from the mind. Tell yourself, forgiveness is a must. Forgiveness is one instruction from God that we need to follow, and grace is available um, um, for forgiveness to happen. That does not mean you don't have to go through all this process. You don't have to do due diligence. That we've established that already. That does not mean that you constantly put yourself in that position where you are continually being hurt and all of that.
Exactly.
That is
Yeah.
not forgiveness. So that's great. I saw it somewhere where someone said this. You know, someone said in a relationship, if a mistake is done by a partner, a man forgets but never forgives. Listen, they say a man forgets but never forgives, whereas a woman forgives but never forgets. Is this true? Is this true? Is there any iota? Let's just wrap up with this because our time is fast spent. Is there
I'm not
any
a man.
iota of
I'm
truth?
not a man. I
Yes,
would
but
wish that a
from
man
your
will be here
experiences, you know, or
to tell
experiences
us
with men,
whether
you
that
know,
is the truth. I
but
think
because
what the
because I think
person,
that for men, sometimes there's that tendency. it might just be a general thing, not men alone. That tendency for them to just jump the process or live in denial. Maybe that's what this person is talking about. Live in denial
That's
and
what I
say,
was going to say. So
I
you know,
forgive you.
men don't like to show emotions, so they bottle
Okay.
it up. They want to show that they are macho. They don't want to talk
Mm,
about it. They don't want to show that you offended them that much or that they are hot, and you know they just want to
mm.
let it go, let it go. This problem of also talking about the issue is mostly with men. Men don't like talking. You know, women
Yeah.
are initiative.
Yeah.
We are created to talk. Yeah, so we want to do
Mm.
all the talking, and the man just want to let it go and let it pass. But because of that, because the healing process is not followed, then there's actually the
Mm.
tendency not to forgive. That's where the problem is. There's
Mm.
there's the tendency to keep that resentment
Keep
because the
it.
healing process has not been followed.
Resentment. Yeah.
It is better to own up, to name it, to say this is the offense, deal with it and let it go, than to just want to, just roll over it.
And
You don't
cover
want to
it.
treat the wound, just cover the wound like that, and
Mm.
then before you know, the wound become wider. By the time you do one small thing, that
Mm.
one small thing will become a mighty issue, not because of what has just
Yeah.
happened now, but because what
Mm.
happened before is still there. But for a woman, if she gets the opportunity to express herself, which we do most times, we are either crying, we are shouting, we're emotional beings, we can even
Mm.
overreact. When we've done that, most
Mm.
times they go say the thing don't finish for the woman belle. Let me use our Niger language.
Yeah.
It's easier for the woman to let go because she's expressed
Mm.
that emotion. But it's not a general rule because there are some women, their hearts
Mm.
is
Mm.
they don't let go.
Mm.
And there are also
Mm.
some men. There are some men that easily let go,
Yeah,
of
true.
offenses. So, but in a general sense, that might be what that person is trying to
Person
say,
is say, yeah,
because men don't express, they don't give themselves room to express and really deal with their
express.
emotions. So it feels like they've not forgiven. Of course, this is what we're
Mm.
saying. If the process is not followed, then the tendency to not let go of the offense will be there. This is why we're saying process is necessary and process is important. We follow the process, we heal from whatever the offense is so that it will not continue and so that it will not be repeated. They've done what they do best
Wow.
in Nigeria.
Yes, so but thank God we've gotten if not everything, we've gotten most part of it out. Thank you so
Yes.
much for the opportunity to put you on
Thank
the hot
you.
seat this time around. I think we've established it, and we can wrap up with this really, that forgiveness is a must for those of us that believe forgiveness is a must. If we begin from there, it makes it a lot better, or makes it a lot easier for us to understand the concept. We've established what forgiveness is not. Again, understanding is key. If you understand these things, it makes it a whole lot easier for you to go through the process and free yourself. Forgiveness is first for yourself, before any other thing. Thank you so much for this honor. I do not take it for granted.
You're
And I hope
welcome.
to be here again some other time to host and put you on the hot seat again. Thank you so very much.
It was fun. I had fun. I enjoyed
Yeah,
myself. And I hope our viewers have learned as usual a lot today. Thank you so much, Titi. For
thank
those who do not
you.
know, Titi is my co-host on Conversation with the Love Crusader. So you're going to be seeing much more of these situations where she's hosting, maybe not just me, but hosting whoever the guest might be, on this platform. All our aim is just to ensure that we pass some knowledge that can help you, that can help your friends, that can help you in your relationship, in your life, and in your love. Please share, subscribe at Men Fences TV on YouTube, at Men Fences on Facebook. Connect with us if you have a question. Next week is Q&A. We are going to be answering some questions here next week. We don't have a topic, any question. Please
No
feel free to
topic
go to our
is
comment
off limit.
section.
Is that what you are
No
saying?
topic, any
All right
topic, as long
now.
as it's about life, love, and relationship. Please leave your question. We have a WhatsApp group. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, you let me know. You can leave your question on the WhatsApp page. You can leave it on the our Facebook page or on our YouTube page, or you can even private chat us. We have a WhatsApp number that is now connected to Mend Fences on Facebook, and we'll respond to you as quickly as we can. We will deal with as many questions as we can that our 1 hour will take next week. We're going to continue to do Q&A monthly now. We want everyone to be involved, and we want your questions to be answered. Thank you so much again, Titi, for hosting me. Thank you, viewers, for connecting with us today. God bless you. Until we come your way again next week, have a love-filled week, everyone. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.